Tomorrow, President Biden's infrastructure bill tour makes a stop here in Kansas City. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carolyn Long.
And I'm Brad Stevens. So far, the president's made stops in Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Those are all swing states that'll have House and Senate seats in play next year.
So why Kansas City? KCTV5's Betsy Webster asked Mayor Quinton Lucas that very question. She joins us live now with the answer. Betsy?
Well, Carolyn, here is a hint. That speech is happening at the KCATA. That's the building behind me here. It is the headquarters for public transit. And Kansas City's mayor has been stumping for months about making buses electric and free. This spring, Ride KC unveiled its first 2 electric buses. There are now 3. It's part of an initiative called Zero Fare, Zero Emissions. Other cities are ahead of KC on environmental sustainability for public transit, but Mayor Quinton Lucas says the zero fare part is where KC is ahead of the curve.
In every meeting I've had with Republicans and Democrats in Washington, I've said that the zero fare effort is something that has broad-based support in Kansas City, something that we've kept going for some time through pandemic, despite whatever challenges we've had with budgets, and it's something that we're staying committed to.
Lucas was one of 4 mayors meeting with congressional and Biden administration leaders about the infrastructure bill earlier this year, and he was present at the bill signing 3 weeks ago.
Bravo.
For years, infrastructure was seen as roads, bridges, the things you drive on. But the latest infrastructure law expands the definition to include broadband and, yes, public transit, which is tied to Biden's focus on equitable infrastructure spending.
He's picking Kansas City, a place that may not have many close elections, but he's picking us because I think we will be the template for so many cities, so many places around the country. I'm proud of that.
And now, how much of that federal infrastructure spending will go to Kansas City is still up in the air. But it's worth pointing out that that money is allocated into separate categories, and one of those categories is public transportation. So the mayor is hopeful that what's happening here will get a good piece of the pie. Live in Kansas City, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
Betsy, thank you. And in all, we do know the state of Missouri expects to receive $7 billion to repair roads and bridges. That'll be paid out over the next 5 years. Congressman Emanuel Cleaver says KC needs all the funding they can get their hands on.
We have a lot of infrastructure needs in Kansas City and in the surrounding suburbs. Anything that we can do to relieve the community of the problems we've been experiencing over the last few years in terms of the damage to automobiles is going to be good.
Now, on the other side of the aisle, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley said in a statement, quoting here, President Biden's infrastructure plan doesn't do nearly enough for Missouri roads and bridges, but it does spend over $1 trillion on the far left's agenda. KCTV5 will have live coverage of the president's landing. That is expected at 12:45 tomorrow, and you'll be able to see his speech on KSMO TV around 2:30. Our coverage continues then tomorrow on KCTV5 News This Morning, starting at 4:30.